All right, so I am going to show you an easy way to make sure that if you are working with data that you're going to be joining to a shapefile, I'm going to show you an easy way to make sure that the data will join correctly. So the first thing is we have to figure out what our base map is going to be. So I'm going to use the example as if I'm making a map about the obesity rates in the United States by state. So my data looks like this. So I have this data of self-reported obesity by state. I've got a list, and then I've got the prevalence of obesity. So this is the percentage of people in that particular state that say that self-reported themselves as being obese. Now, I could copy and paste this into a spreadsheet, which might work, and a lot of times it does, but sometimes we have some issues because there's some underlying programming on a website, and so when you try to bring it into a table in Excel or Google Sheets, sometimes they run into a few issues. So another way to do this is you can actually go out to ArcMap, add your base map. So I've added my base map, the United States, and then I can open up my attribute table. And I really only want this number or this column, but I'm going to export the whole table so that I can use it to collect my data. So I do that, and I hit the little options. I go down to export. And then I make sure that I navigate out to where I want to save everything. So I want to save everything under my GIS 1.2 folder, and I've created an Independent Study 2020 folder. So I'm going to go put that in there. There's nothing there. I have to give it a name, so I'm just going to call it states because that's really what it is. That's all I'm going to use it for. I want to export it as a DBase table. That means a database. So that way I can open that up into Excel and work with it. So I hit save. I hit OK. And then it's going to ask if I want to put it to my map. And I don't want to put it to my map because I'm actually going to work with this in Excel. So I'm going to hit no. And so, but it did export. So then what I do here is I actually go into Excel. I've got a few things open. So I'm going to open up a new folder or a new workbook. So I'm going to open up a new workbook, a blank workbook. And I want to now, from within this blank workbook, I want to bring in that file that I just exported. So from here, from here I'm going to go to File and Open. And then I'm going to navigate to where I saved it. So I saved that file in my documents under there, under my GIS folder, under my GIS 1.2 folder. I've got a lot of folders, and under Independent Study. And as you see here, I open it, but it doesn't really look like an Excel file because it actually tells me here that it's state.dbf, and over here it says XML. That's not Excel. So if you look down here, it says it's only showing Excel files. We want it to show all files because when we show all files, automatically now we have this other file that shows up as a DBF or a database file. That's what we're going to open. So we're going to click on that. We're going to hit open. And then what you see here is this is actually the table version or the Excel version of our spreadsheet. And to be honest, we really don't care about much on this except for column B. So at this stage, I'm going to delete a bunch of things. I'm going to highlight and delete. And then I don't need all of these. I just want the state name because I want to make sure that I don't have to A, type out every single state. And also B, I don't want to make a typo. Like what if I spelled California with a lowercase c? I don't want to have to figure out how poorly a typist I am. So now I have this data. And I have this, so which I can actually start inputting my data. So before I do that, I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to go back into my folder, but I want to save it as an Excel workbook, and now I'm going to call this Obesity by State, because I'm about to add my Obesity by State, and I'm going to keep this as an Excel workbook. So now I can create a title here, Obesity by state. And then what I can do is I can actually take this, put it off to the side, go into my data, put that off to the side. And I can now start actually typing through my data here. So I can actually, and I guess it looks like I might need to have it, but I can start looking at, okay, let me find Alabama. So maybe I'll sort this whole thing so that I can see it. Sort. And I want to sort by state name. And then I'm going to go OK. And I got Alabama up here. So now I can actually type in the numbers. 36.2, and so forth. And I can actually go in here. It looks like I might need to expand it, but I can start typing in all the ABCD numbers. And then by doing that, I am ensuring that my ABCD by state, that this state name piece is going to be good so I can bring it in and join my tables. So hopefully that's helpful for you.